There is one word in documentary filmmaking that is sabotaging your shoots. It creates the wrong expectations with your subjects before you ever say hello, and the wrong expectations with your crew before you ever roll camera. I've directed TV shows for PBS, I've had a documentary on HBO, and for most of my career, I felt quietly uncomfortable, let's say, with one word in my own title. I hate the title director in nonfiction work specifically. The title can scare subjects before you walk in the door, and it sets the wrong expectation with crews about what kind of leadership you're there to provide. What documentary directing actually requires is active listening, not active directing. It doesn't mean that you're passive. It means you've done your research ahead of time. You know that this scene matters, which characters carry the story, and roughly what you're there trying to capture. Then you're just letting the action unfold. You're listening the entire time, you're reading body language, you're anticipating what comes next. You're not manufacturing, directing the moments.
Less direction is better in pretty much everything.
I love that so much. I was very inspired by my interview with Matt Porwall, and he very elegantly described what doc filmmakers actually do on set. So I wanted to follow up with a video that gets into that question more deeply. It immediately activates heavy cultural expectations that belong in the scripted world. People almost brace for you. They wait for your instructions. They look at you to control the room. And in documentary, that dynamic almost always is the opposite of what you need. I was shooting a PBS series throughout Alaska, and I could tell you the exact moment I started understanding why I hate this word. My producer, who was excellent in doing his job, he was building relationships with tribal members that we were filming, was setting up a conversation for me to have a pre-interview with somebody, and he said, well, let me get the director, Darren, into the conversation. And as soon as that's brought into the world, the director, it changes everything. You know, these are already indigenous tribal communities that are already very skeptical of outside filmmakers. And before I had said a single word, there was kind of a judgment on me. The energy in the conversation had shifted. There was a formality that entered that did not belong there. The title had already put a frame around our relationship that made their story feel like my production. I'm not the director of somebody's life. I'm not even the director of their story. Their story exists before I arrive and will continue long after my version of their story is finished. What I actually am is kind of more like a creative shepherd of a project that moves through their life for a brief moment in time. And that reframe changes everything about how you show up, how you introduce yourself, and how much trust you can build before camera ever turns on. Scripted filmmaking is a fake world you're trying to make feel real. And you have to direct a lot of different departments to make it feel real. Documentary filmmaking is a real world. You're just trying to make it not feel fake. Those are two completely different jobs, and they require completely different postures on set. In scripted, you build everything from scratch and then direct a whole lot of people through it to make it a reality. In documentary, everything's already there, it's already real, and your entire job is just to capture it without breaking it. The other story that crystallizes for me happened on a docu-style commercial shoot, and I was hired to capture a celebrity athlete in action, real moments, vérité style. The agency had paired me with a DP I hadn't worked with before, which was already kind of a yellow flag because I always choose my own DP. And this was a talented DP doing exactly what his training had prepared him to do. He came from a film school background with a strong commercial reel. And in pre-production, I talked about how we're rolling for moments. Kind of my way of saying, we're going vérité, we're rolling a lot of footage. While I thought we had aligned in pre-production, I could have communicated my vision more explicitly before we had arrived on location. I did have some shots that I wanted to get that were blocked out very specifically, but the meat of the shoot was all real, unscripted moments. And it became very clear very quickly that his media and batteries could not keep up with the moments we were trying to capture. It made me question myself, like, was I taking command of the set? Should I be calling action and cut and blocking out every little moment specifically, even though this athlete is not an actor, he's a real person just playing a sport. So it's going to feel more natural if we just let him play and we capture it. But the truth is that the coverage philosophy for documentary work is fundamentally different from commercial work. And neither of us was wrong about our craft. We were just doing two completely different jobs on the same shoot. So all of that being said, I have three practical takeaways. The first thing is that being quiet on a vérité set is not a weakness. It is the job. The research you did before you arrived, the scenes you identified as important, the characters you built access to, the invisible infrastructure you're setting up in the room as you get your coverage, that is documentary directing. What you're not doing is breaking reality to perform authority, because you don't need to. So the next time you're on a vérité set and someone looks at you waiting for direction, the move is not to manufacture something, it's to give maybe a small prompt that unclogs the situation and restarts the natural action without taking ownership of it. Something as simple as turning to your subject and saying, just do what you were doing before we were here, is a lot of times all you need to get it going again. Save the title for the industry. Maybe in the credits, you're director, but when you're building trust with a subject for the first time, try introducing yourself just with your name, or the person telling the story, or the person running the project, before you ever say the word director that has all of this unnecessary cultural baggage attached to it. And the third thing is that the word director does not just affect how your subjects see you and reminds them of the whole video production that is taking shape around their lives. It actually shapes who you attract as collaborators. A DP who comes from a scripted or commercial world and doesn't understand the vérité approach will not just create friction on set, they can actively work against you and what you're trying to capture. And that's not a chemistry thing or a personality mismatch, it's a methodology mismatch. The fix could be one conversation in pre-production. Ask your DP directly, are you comfortable rolling long moments we can't predict? Are you okay not knowing exactly when to cut? If they hesitate, you have your answer. Better to have that conversation over coffee than mid-shoot when the moments are already gone. Or shoot it yourself. I'm not going to stop calling myself a director. It's an industry standard term and it communicates what I do, I think, faster than any other word. Maybe producer does the same thing, but I think about it very differently now. And if you have ever felt the pressure to be more controlling or commanding of a documentary location than your instincts are telling you to be, I'm saying it's okay to be the silent person in the room and let things play out. You know you need this scene, now just capture it as it happens. I want to know if any of this is resonating with you guys. Have you ever been on a documentary or vérité shoot and felt that pressure to perform or look like a director in a way that felt completely wrong for what you're actually trying to capture? Drop it in the comments below. And if you saw my conversation with Matt Porwall and this connects to something he said, point that out too, because that interview is actually a big part of what brought this one to the surface for me. Take care.